Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel. This is the Crucible of NYC. I'm your host, Domingo. I have a flashlight here that I would like to review with you folks. It's the Sofirn SP31 version 3. This is a rechargeable USB-C flashlight, and it has 6 modes running at from 1 lumen all the way to 2000 lumens. Now from the 6 modes, this has on the first one, which is the moonlight mode, it has 1 lumen of support, and then it would give you runtime mostly about, it says 550 hours. At low it has 15 lumens running at about 120 hours. Medium lumens, which is 300 lumens, running at about 5 hours and 50 minutes. And then you have high, which is 900 lumens running for 2 hours and 10 minutes on an 18650 rechargeable battery. The rechargeable battery has 3000 milliamps of capacity. Now the last mode, which is 2000 lumens, it's turbo mode. It runs up to 5 minutes or 1 hour and 55 minutes. The last one, that's the strobes, they run at 2000 lumens for the strobes, 300 lumens for the SOS, and 2000 lumens for the beacon. This is an IP68 resistant flashlight. It has a fall impact of about 3.28 feet. So in other words, you can drop it and not expect it to crack or break. Maybe a button might fly because the buttons may be mildly plastic, but the metal encasing is aluminum. This uses an SST40 LED emitter at 6000 to 6500 kelvins, or a 1 Nichia 519A 5000 kelvins. Now the working flashlight goes from 3.0 volts up to 4.2 volts. This has 2 switches, that is one from the bottom and the other one is on the top, and the bottom one is what turns on the flashlight, and the top one is the one that cycles through the functions of the flashlight. Now usually when you have this manual, when you get this packaging here, it tells you to read me to remove this like a paper to prevent the contact of the battery. And in the box you'll get a USB-C cable that's from USB-A to USB-C to recharge the light. You'll get an instruction manual, an 18650 battery that's already inside of the flashlight, and you get a lanyard. So we'll go ahead and we'll put in this battery here so you could see the functionalities of this battery. Now this does come with O-rings to prevent any moisture or rust around the ring so that water doesn't get inside, and the silicone seal for the USB-C port, it's also covered by a rubber grommet. And remember that this is IP68, so it says it's waterproof, and upon turning on the light is the low lumens, and the green LED is what gives you the indication that it's fully charged the battery. And this is the low lumen, this is the medium, this is the high, and this is turbo. Now these lights are very, very bright in the darkness, and if you want to go into moonlight mode, you have to press and hold this momentary press button and the power button, and it turns into a moonlight. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a very, very dim light, and this is perfect if it's pitch black and you don't want to turn on an intrusive light. Now I have an older flashlight that I always carry with me. Since these are pocket LED flashlights, I have a Workhorse FC13 flashlight, and just for reference of how big this flashlight is, my older flashlight is a little shorter, but this is just the same width and diameter as that one, just a little longer. The head on the Workhorse is a little bit thicker, so it dissipates the heat sink as well. This has little heat sink fins on both sides, and it also has like a clip for your hat or your jeans or any pocket that you have that you want to clip this to. Now what I'll do is I'll do a quick little demonstration in the darkness of how this light illuminates in the dark. Well, it's not going to be pitch black, but at least it'll be dark enough that you can see the difference in how the lighting is. Now this has a pretty good CRI, which is color rendering index, and which means that when you're trying to see something of color, the color are pretty accurate. They're not just going to be solid blue, or they're not going to be yellow. The color would reference to what it has. So yellow is yellow, blue is blue, green is green. So if you give me a moment, I'll show you how the brightness is on this light. All right, folks. So I'm in the same spot, but the only thing is that where I pointed the cameras or where I have the speakers on my introductions, I'm pointing the cameras at the wall. So I'm going to start off with one lumen, which is called the moonlight mode. And you can see that you can barely make out some of the details because it's a very, very low illumination. But then when you put it to low, remember that this is the 300 lumen mark, you can see some of the details on the speaker, some of the details on the wall, and as well as that little yellow plant that you see in the background. And this is, remember, the low, which is not as bright. Excuse me, low is 15 lumens, not 300 lumens. It's 15 lumens. And then once we step it up, you get 300 lumens. Now in the 300 lumen mark, you get to see the details of the speaker. It's now you can make out the table, you can make out the light that's there, the white light, and then you can also make out that Zealot speaker that's right there. Now once we step it up from 300 to 900, now everything is well illuminated. Now you can see the color on the speaker, you can see the walnut on the desk, and you can make out the colors of the background. And this is what I was saying about the CRI being very good on this flashlight, that you can actually make out the details rather it being a very blue light. So this is the next stop, which is 2000 lumens. This is turbo. So not much, but it does increase a little more, but you do get to see the details a lot clearer. Now it does have a hot spot. It has a little bit of a spill, but a very concentrated hot spot. So that's pretty good for a throw. So this is pretty much like a throwing flashlight. So in other words, by throwing means that you can reach a further distance and you can illuminate what's further in the background and provide an ample amount of spill. As you can see, the hot spot, it moves around and it lights up the surrounding areas. So this also has a strobe. I don't want to do it because I don't know if there's anybody who suffers from epilepsy. So I don't want to demonstrate the strobes, the SOS, but this has an SOS and a strobe mode. So, and to be fair, I'll compare it to my Workhorse F13 flashlight. And to be fair, this is a 1080 lumen flashlight. So this is about 100 lumens brighter than the one that I showed you. So this is the moonlight mode. And then this steps up to the second one, which is about 15 to 20 lumens. And you can make out some of the details. A little yellowish, but you can make out the details. And the next stop would be, I think this is 150 lumens. And at 150 lumens, you definitely could see and make out some of the backgrounds that are in the back. You can see what's in the back. Like you can see the plant, you can see the speaker, the color of the walnut, and everything seems to come into focus. And I believe that this one is 420 lumens. Right here, 420 lumens. And again, you can make out the color of the walnut, the color of the speaker, the color of the plant, and so forth. And now I believe this is 1080 lumens. And this one is very bright too. So if you compare this one to the other one that, like okay, so I'm gonna ramp this one down and I'll ramp this one. This is the highest. I believe this one right here is turbo, and this is turbo on this one. You can definitely see that the Workhorse is much brighter because it's 1000 lumens. So that extra 100 lumens does make a difference, but the Workhorse is a spilling flashlight. So in other words, that it provides an ample amount of lighting for the surroundings. And the Sofirn SP31 is more of a throwing flashlight. So this one would be a better flashlight if you're going out in the woods and you need to see further out. This one would be a better flashlight. And this one, which is here, I'll show you. This is the Workhorse. You can definitely see that there's a greater spill in this one. But to be fair, like I said, it's 100 more lumens than the Sofirn SP31V3. Now, I can't tell you that one is better than the other, so preference choice, and also it's not fair because it has an extra 100 lumens. But for the price that I purchased this one, I really do like this flashlight because even at turbo, it gets warm, but not very hot. I'm sure that if you leave it on for a longer period of time, it'll get hotter. Okay, folks. So this is the Sofirn SP31 version 3. I'm outside. It's very, very dark out here. And I just will show you that in the mode settings, that would be low, medium, high, moonlight mode, low, medium, high, and turbo. And I will show you the one on the Workhorse as well. So I'll turn this on moonlight mode, which is the lowest setting, and you'll see that it's pretty decent. I mean, it's not, you really can't tell much unless I shine the light on it, but the moonlight mode is like a very, very low light for the nighttime that you don't want to turn on the lights. This is low. This is medium. This is high. And this is turbo mode. So the spotlight is very bright, and you can see around me that it has a very, very long beam. Like the spotlight is very intense. Indoors, you really can't see the difference how bright it is, but it is intense. I could see most of the colors. Like over here it says elevator B. I'm on the roof of the garage, and if I illuminate everything, you can see everything around me. And if I turn it off, you see how dark it gets. And then again, low, medium, high, and turbo. So this is a pretty bright flashlight, and the CRI, the color rendering index, the way that you can see stuff in the background, like those trees, I'll try to see if I can make out the trees, the green. You can see the green in the trees. The color is very, very good, very accurate. So I'll try now the Workhorse light that I have, and we'll see what's the difference in illumination. So this is moonlight mode. I don't know if you can see that one, but it's very, very low. And this is low, medium, high. It's like 5 levels, so that's high, and it's like 9 levels, sorry. So it's like turbo, and this is like the highest level. So this is the highest levels. You could see, you could make out everything around you, and this is a very, very floody light. So everything around you could see, and the colors are very, very spot on. And the thing is that because this light is a floody light, there's not much of a hot spot, because you can't really make out the colors of the trees unless you turn it in high, then you can see it. And this is about 2000 lumens. So there you can make out some of the colors of the trees, but the other one, because it's a spotlight, you can make out more of the colors. So we'll go around again, and I'll put it on the highest setting. And you can make out the background. And as you can see, because this is a floody light, everything around the light is illuminated. And again, we'll go to the top of the roof. We'll come back down. And so I'll try to see if I can put these two lights side by side. It's just a little difficult. So this is low, on the Sofirn flashlight, and this is low on the Workos. This is medium on the Sofirn, and this is medium on the Workos. This is high on the Sofirn, and this is high on the Workos. So the right is the Workos, the left is the Sofirn. So you can see on the top the differences on the right and on the left because of the beam, the hotspot, it illuminates more. So we'll go on turbo mode on the Workos to the right, and we're turbo on the left for the Sofirn. As you can see, this is a throwy flashlight. So on the trees, again, you could make out the leaves of the trees if I illuminate that way. So on the glass, that's the Sofirn, and that's the Workos. So the Workos, for it being a brighter light, a higher illumination light, you do get more light out of the Sofirn because it's a thrower. So that light would definitely reach further out for you if you need some lighting. And again, this is low. As you can see, it's very, very bright. All right, folks. Well, hope you enjoy the night. Can't really see the sky because it's dark, but you could see the beam on that flashlight. It's very, very bright. Yeah, so there you go. All right, folks.